There is someone in your life right now who only calls when they need something. They do not ask how you are. They ask what you can do. And every single time you show up. You deliver. You give. Because you were raised to believe that loyalty is a virtue. That showing up for people is what good men do. But here is what no one told you. Not everyone around you is playing the same game. Some of them are not loyal to you. They are loyal to what you provide. The moment you stop being useful, you will discover exactly how much you meant to them. And it will not hurt because they left. It will hurt because you already knew and you ignored it. This video exists because someone needs to say what everyone else is too polite to tell you. Your loyalty is being weaponized, and it stops today. You are not naive. You are not weak. You were taught wrong. Every system that shaped you, school, religion, family culture, told you the same lie: give without measure, trust without question, and good things will come back to you. What they did not teach you is that the world also produces a very different kind of person, a person who learned very early to identify givers and position themselves close enough to extract. They are not evil, they are strategic, and they found you because you radiate reliability. You answer quickly, you follow through. You do not make people beg. These are good qualities. They are also the exact qualities that opportunists hunt for. The problem is not your loyalty. The problem is the audience you have been performing it for. You have been loyal to people who were never loyal to a version of you that had nothing to offer. That is the test they never tell you about. Not who shows up when you succeed, who stays when you have nothing. You already know who passed that test. You already know who failed it. You just have not let yourself act on that knowledge. That ends now. Not with anger, with clarity. Because the greatest damage opportunists do is not the resources they take. It is the time they consume and the confusion they leave behind. They make you question your own worth. They make you feel like your loyalty was the flaw. It was not. Their absence of integrity was. And now you are going to use what you know. 500 years ago, a man wrote the book that kings tried to burn, and scholars pretended they had never read. His name was Niccolo Machiavelli, and he did not write about power to celebrate it. He wrote about it to expose it. He watched princes fall. He watched allies betray. He watched good men destroyed by their refusal to see the world as it actually was. He was exiled. He was tortured. He was stripped of everything by the very political machine he had served faithfully. And instead of collapsing, he wrote, what he produced was not a guide for tyrants. It was a warning for every man who trusted the wrong people and paid for it with his future. He said this, remember it. Carve it into the wall of every assumption you have ever made about people. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims. That sentence was written in 1513. It describes the person who has been draining your energy this week. Machiavelli did not invent manipulation. He simply refused to pretend it did not exist. Now, neither will you. Loyalty must be a mirror, not a window. The principle is simple. A loyal person reflects your energy back. An opportunist uses you as a window to look at what lies beyond you. You have seen this. The friend who only calls when their relationship collapses. The colleague who praises you to your face and steals your credit behind your back. This happens because opportunists are not emotionally broken. They are strategically focused. They have decided that their outcomes matter more than your feelings. The psychology is this. They project warmth to create comfort, then exploit that comfort before you can register what is happening. Starting today, run the mirror test on every relationship that drains you. Ask yourself, when was the last time this person showed up without needing something? If you cannot remember, you have your answer. You do not need to confront anyone. You simply need to stop volunteering. Real loyalty does not require constant renegotiation. It exists without you having to remind someone you are worth it. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. You are not learning this to hurt anyone. You are learning it so you cannot be hurt the same way twice. Drop this in the comments. I know the difference now. Stop speaking. Watch who keeps talking. Opportunists are addicted to your engagement. They need you reacting, explaining, defending. The moment you go quiet, their mask starts to slip. You know this situation. You pulled back as even slightly, and they escalated. Drama, guilt, sudden remembrance that you exist. That escalation is not love. It is panic. They are not afraid of losing you. They are afraid of losing access to you. The psychology behind this. Parasitic attachments survive on reciprocal engagement. They are fueled by your response, not your presence. Starting today, when you suspect someone, give them silence before you give them a verdict. Watch what they do in your absence. That is the real them. Some people only remember your birthday when they need your advice. Some people only call when the relationship they replaced you with falls apart. Silence is not punishment. It is diagnosis. And you are allowed to act on what the results show you. Drop this in the comments. Silence is my diagnosis tool. Machiavelli understood that the wisest prince is not the most vocal one. He is the one who observes longest before he decides. Abundance of you creates contempt. When you are always available, you become expected. Expected things do not get appreciated. They get taken for granted. You know this. You have bent your schedule, cancelled your plans, sacrificed your own priorities, and the person receiving it treated it like a delivery service. On time, as expected. The psychology. Humans are wired to value what is difficult to access. This is not shallow. It is ancient survival coding. Rarity signals worth. Starting today, create deliberate space, not as a game, not as manipulation, as a genuine reclaiming of your own time and attention. Let people miss you. Let them wonder. The right people will respect the space. The wrong ones will reveal themselves by resenting it. Your scarcity is not coldness. It is self-respect made visible. The man who is everywhere is taken from everywhere. The man who is selective is consulted, not consumed. So I drop this in the comments. My time is my currency. Machiavelli wrote that the prince who seeks to please everyone pleases no one. For in trying to give everything to all, he gives nothing of value to any. Their loyalty has an expiry date. Learn to read the label. Opportunists do not betray you suddenly. They are loyal as long as the calculation makes sense. When it stops making sense, they are already gone in their minds before they physically leave. You have lived this. A colleague who was your ally right up until they got the promotion you both applied for. A friend who supported your project until their own competing one launched. The psychology. Opportunistic loyalty is conditional loyalty. It is sustained by a cost-benefit analysis running in the background of every interaction. Starting today, watch for the moment the calculation shifts. It will show up as subtle changes, less energy, shorter replies, sudden unavailability, new audiences they are cultivating. When you notice these signals, do not beg, do not chase. Adjust your investment before they have the chance to adjust theirs. The goal is not to become paranoid. The goal is to become accurate. Accuracy means you invest deeply in those who earn it, and lightly in those who have shown you they cannot carry it. This is not cynicism. This is the refinement of a man who has paid tuition in pain and is now collecting the knowledge he earned. Shall I drop this in the comments? I invest where it is earned. Stop chasing. Start positioning. Opportunists pursue people they can extract from. When you become someone who gives only in return for genuine exchange, you stop being prey and start being respected. You know the feeling of being needed versus being wanted. Being needed feels urgent. Being wanted feels sovereign. The psychology. When you pursue people, you create a power imbalance. You communicate that they are more valuable than you. Opportunists feel that and use it. Starting today, stop chasing responses. Stop following up on unanswered energy. Redirect every unit of effort into building the version of yourself that people seek. Build skills, build reputation, build things. Let your growth be the loudest statement you ever make to the people who underestimated you. The people who ignored your loyalty will not ignore your success. Let that be motivation, not the goal. The goal is the life you build. Machiavelli wrote that the wise man adapts himself to circumstances, while the fool persists in his ways. Be the man who sees clearly and shifts accordingly. Adaptation is not weakness. It is the intelligence of the unconquered. Drop this in the comments. I am the destination, not the pursuit. Guard your inner circle like a kingdom. Not everyone deserves access to your war room. Machiavelli observed that the gravest threats to a prince come not from his enemies, but from the advisors he trusted without testing. You have experienced this version of it. The person you confided in became the person who armed your opposition with your vulnerabilities. The psychology. Oversharing with unearned relationships creates leverage points. Every piece of personal information you give is a potential instrument someone else can use against you. Starting today, earn entry to your inner world. Not with tests or games, with time, with consistency, with reciprocity under pressure. The people who belong in your inner circle are the ones who showed up without incentive, who pushed back respectfully, who told you the truth when the lie was easier. You do not need many. You need real, one man in your corner, who means it is worth 50 who are there for what you represent. Audit your circle, not with resentment, with the same clear eyes you would use to inspect the foundation of a building you plan to live in for decades. Remove the cracks, reinforce the load-bearing walls. Invite in only those who increase the structural integrity of your life. Drop this in the comments. My circle is earned, not given. The old you is dead. The man who confused availability with loyalty. The man who confused kindness with permission. The man who apologized for having standards. You are a weapon pointed at your own future, not at their approval, not at their comfort, at the life that was always waiting for you behind the people blocking the path. You belong to no one, not to their need for you, not to their version of who you should be, not to the identity they created for you because it was convenient for their extraction. Machiavelli survived exile, torture, and betrayal. He did not survive by becoming bitter. He survived by becoming accurate. And then he wrote the truth so that men like you would never have to learn it the way he did. You are not starting over. You are starting with everything you know. That is not a disadvantage. That is the only advantage that matters. If this found you at the right moment, it was not an accident. Subscribe. Not because I asked you to, because you already know there is more you need to hear. Hit the notification bell, because the next video will cover something they really did not want you to find out. And share this, not to educate everyone, only share it with the one man in your life who is ready to hear it. Your loyalty is a rare thing, a finite resource. Spent wrong, it bankrupts you. Spent right, it becomes the foundation of a life nothing and no one can touch. Before you go, I want you to sit with this question, not for me, for you. Leave your answer below. Who in your life has shown you loyalty without needing anything in return? And when was the last time you told them?